How you doing? It's your captain. How you doing, Kamarowski? You doing good? Hey, did the app come out in Poland? I am under the impression that it did. Check the app store there in Poland and see if it did. I got word from Ignacy that it's dadgummit. So I got word from Ignacy that they're working on it. They're finishing up a few little details and whatnot. So it looks like we're gonna be getting the app coming out really soon. And I don't know if there's a difference between whether it's released first in Poland or the U.S. or how that's going to go. Oh, we got Steampunk Rally. Awesome. We got Canvas too. Cool. Yeah, Canvas is a nice little light game. I think it's got enough there to keep me interested when I'm playing with new players, especially like what do they call that now? Z started calling it the welcoming games, right? So, hey, I don't know if you guys saw this, but you know Rodney Smith of Watch It Played. I've been watching him for years. Him and his daughter and son used to play games all the time, and then he got to where he was doing a lot of rules, and then it ended up being mostly a rules channel. Hey, Ruby. And then in the last, I guess it's been a couple of years, him and Chaz got together. They started doing some funny stuff together, and then they ended up merging their channels. They went under the one roof of Watch It Played, and then he got Matthew Jude on board. With Matthew's been doing a lot of editing for a lot of different people. And I don't know exactly what all his relationship with Rodney was before, but he ended up joining up with Chaz and Rodney, and then Paula Deming came on and was there as well. So the four of them are Watch It Played. But this week and today they uploaded, I think, Watergate as like one of their first game playthroughs. So Watch It Played actually has a Watch It Played again. So, and they're doing that with Monique and Naveen. So Monique and Naveen have their own channel, and they've been doing that for some time. I think it's Before You Play, I think is what it's called. And yeah. I couldn't remember exactly how it went down, Komorowski, but like, the four of them joined up, and it's an awesome channel. I really love it. But now they've got Monique and Naveen playing as well. Nice young couple, really nice people, cool people. And they play heavy games. They play light games. It seems like they play a ton of different types of games. I know that like they've played all the way through like On Mars and stuff like that. Yeah. So they're like I said, they're a nice couple. One of those people who you want to see succeed, right? So just good people that you just wish the best for them, right? So now that channel's got all kinds of stuff with the call to the news or whatever they call it. It seems like one of their biggest problems is they can't ever figure out what to call each segment. They're still tweaking all that. So it used to be they had something about the radar, what's on the radar, and now it's top 10 games that are gaining popularity, or I don't know, whatever. So that's going on. The other thing that happened recently, 3 to 4 shows, something like that. The other thing that happened recently that you guys may not have known about, and it's again because it's a young couple and I've been watching them, and I really want them to succeed, is Ant Labs. And Ant Labs has closed down. They and I don't want to get into like the debate about all this stuff, but basically they tried to be included in a conversation about harassment, I think. and it ended up backfiring, and they got a lot of grief for it, and they've apparently been hounded for 3 years on this, and the community has kind of shut them out or shut them down, or a few vocal people in the community have shut them out and down. So they walked away, and they are now doing a thing called Geek Mavericks. And I mean, they're talking about, I don't know, superheroes and zombies and stuff like that. Just whatever, just geek stuff. But it makes me question, what we are as a community and what kind of community would do that. Because I don't think that they were. Here's the thing: they may have been wrong with whatever it was that they said, and I'm not an expert in any of that stuff, right? So they may have been wrong with what they had said. But being wrong and intentionally trying to harm somebody are two different things. And I just can't believe that those two wonderful people would try to intentionally hurt anyone. So that's my take on it. Whatever. Don't want to get into too much of that. But still, I want to kind of question and think about our role in a community of board gamers. The thing that brings us together is games, love of games. And really, that's the most important part. Anyway, I also wanted to let you know that, so the app's really close to coming out. And of course, Moloch has shipped, the 51st State Moloch expansion has shipped in Europe. It's supposed to be on a boat to US, so that'll be coming out really soon. Yeah, they were trying to help, Paul. Exactly. Anyway. I mean, we all have differences of opinions on all kinds of stuff. And sometimes we can have a conversation about that. Sometimes I don't want to have a conversation about it because I really rather just play games. Anyway, there's a whole lot to that, but whatever. Again, moving on. So we're supposed to get the Moloch expansion come to the US pretty soon. But Robinson Crusoe will be coming to Kickstarter, right? And so we're going to get that book of adventures. And basically they just said, sign up for the newsletter. They don't have a date yet. If I find a date, I'll let you know. But if you're not part of the portal newsletter, make sure you sign up and get on that. So you can find out what's going on. I've got some games. Man, I had a busy week. I got some game playing done. So I've got some games to talk about. 2502. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do a quick game. And then we're going to talk about some of the games that I played. Some are new, some are not as new. Some may be overlooked, or maybe you thought it was not up your alley or something. We'll just talk about it. Anyway, let's do some playing. Get some gameplay done. Well. Here we are once again. Let's see what random thing happens to us today, shall we? All right. Well, we get to go first. All right. Mississippi versus Vegas. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Chevy had his birthday. Yeah, I got to play a soccer game with Chevy, a terrible soccer game with Chevy and the Portal people at convention, and had a great time doing it. But man, Chevy's been bragging ever since, and we haven't gotten back to where we could beat him at it. So he's still the champion. And every opportunity he gets, he will let you know. All right, so the things that we need to know here is that our HQ, once per turn, the HQ can push away any adjacent units, which is cool. We might have to push away our own units, so that's something to think about. But because all we do is push away, it would seem to me that minimizing our fronts would probably be a good thing. So I'm thinking putting in the corner would probably be a good idea for us. We put our tile in the corner, we'll only have 3 fronts. Of course, that is 8 different hexes as far as melee and ranged attacks that could get to us, which is exactly the same if you go here. Because you got 3, 3, 1, and 1. But I find that going in the corner limits how they can use their headquarters and stuff like that. This might be a really good, this position might be a really good place for them to put their HQ. But hopefully you won't do that. Let's find out. Okay, he went in the corner as well. Now, just so that you guys can remember, this HQ has one spot which you cannot see. Hold on a second. Let me. Oops, did the wrong thing. That was unhelpful. Here it is. If I do, come on. There we go. All right, so it's got an arrow, and if that arrow points towards one of my guys, he ends up getting paid off, and he becomes part of Las Vegas. So we want to try to avoid that if possible. Then we also have, whoops, back. We also have this, which is a toxic bomb, which is fantastic, except that the toxic bomb may explode in the initiative phase 1 and inflict 1 wound to the unit standing on the toxic bomb and each adjacent one. So it's like a bomb, regular bomb, except that it goes off at 1. And it actually affects HQs, which means if I put it next to our HQ, it can hurt our HQ as well. So I don't want to put a guy here because that's where he's aiming. I can put the toxic bomb here, which might be good. Or I can put it here in the middle to just destroy any of his guys. The problem is that limits what I can get done as well. So I'm not really sure what to do about the toxic bomb. There's no cursor on the screen. All right. Oh, yeah, you're right. There's no cursor on the screen. Now, there's a way that I can change that. Include cursor is what it is. I don't remember why I turned that off. Let me see if I can turn it on for you guys. Because, yeah, I can't point to it either. You can't see my fingers. Let's see. That should be it. There we go. Ta-da! So, there you go. Thanks, Komarowski. So, I'm thinking about, I put this here. That includes this whole area. It gives me the ability to shoot at him. It could affect, in a bad way, things when they get to a 1, but we'll see. All right. So he's got a shot at me. Okay. Poison. We got a poison. Well, you know I want to poison this guy. Now I wish the balm wasn't there. I can't believe we drew both poisons. We have a double attack there, or a double defense, and it's shielded as well. So I could put one of my poisoners here. I can't put a poisoner here, or he'll take control of it, and then I'll get poisoned. So we don't want that. He'll probably have, he does have some rotations, so he'll be able to move that arrow to one of my other guys. But I could take this guy out. I don't think I'm going to protect him. I think what I'm going to do is this and this, and see if I can make that work for me. Oh no. Right. So now he's facing that a different way. And he also pushed this one. So let's see what I can do. This right here is a smoke screen. Turn any enemy unit in any direction you want. Yeah, so he's busy doing that. I could give him another choice, but I don't really have one. I can push this guy away. Or I can't push my own guy. I don't like any of these choices. So I can turn his gun. I feel like that's good. It's an easy thing to do. And then I can push my guy. But if I push him, he would end up in this corner where I probably want arranged. Oh, man. It's not really doing me any good to do the push. If I turn him and do a battle, I will get 1 damage on his HQ. This is not good. All right, I'm going to do stupid things. I'm going to get rid of the push and turn his guy like that. And I'll do this. And then make that explode. All right. So I can push him. And these are the paralysis. Connected to enemies, they can't perform an attack. Their other functions work, though. So if I push him and put a paralysis here, it'll paralyze both of these. So, which is good. So I do this and push him. And then I put a paralysis there. Do I need a movement? I could simply move this guy up, which isn't too bad. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of one of the paralysis. Man, two strong things for Mississippi coming out at the same time, getting those double draws. It's kind of a bad thing. I would rather them be spread out. So I feel like I've lost a little bit of my mojo there. Anyway, I'm gonna move this up here. I'm gonna put this one here and paralyze both of these. Pow! There you go. And he's got a movement. And he's bought my paralysis. The gummit. Oh, and then I can give my guys... Okay. Let me think about how I'm going to do this. This is going to die. Hey, Vader. So movement isn't going to help me because all my stuff is trapped. So we're not doing movement. Obviously going to use the net. Absolutely, Ruby. I can use the net to take out this gun. And I'm going to put this poison up here, hoping that I get something to aim at his stuff. I don't know what else to do with that. So... The other thing I could do is put the poison... Okay, look. I'm going to definitely put this right here. Right? Now, I could net his darn HQ. If I net his HQ, then he can't buy me. I need some ranged weapons. I'm going to get a ranged. It's going to happen. That's what I'm going to do. So I could put this one here. Which reduces the amount that he can shoot my guy. So he won't have two spaces to shoot my guy. So I feel like that's the right way to go. Bottom right corner. Put the poison module in the bottom right. Yeah, down here. Yeah. Thinking down here. Yeah. The problem is that he's going to end up, if I put anybody here, he's going to end up buying him. And it'll be his again. And so I really need ranged on this guy. I may be doing the wrong thing, guys. And then I'm just hoping for a ranged. And I'm putting him here to help block how many people he can actually have shooting at my HQ. That's one more space he can't have a guy shooting at my HQ. I can still put a guy here to get that, and I'm poisoning whatever he puts here. So I feel like that's okay. All right, just a couple of modules. Yay, we got a ranged. All right. So we're going to put the ranged there. We can put the attack here. It's on a 3. So we can wipe this guy out. Let me think about that. I may want to put that 2 over in this corner. Zero initiative. Zero initiative. Doesn't help me right now. This is rough. All right. So this would give him poison, and he would shoot. Now, that would kill this guy. Except that if I put this 3 here, then I can kill him. Right? But I could also do this, and if I did this, I would get 1 shot at his HQ, bringing him down to 18, while making sure that this lane is clear. And hitting this 3 and hoping that I get another poison or something. Yeah, but I think too. All right, we'll do this. Right? And then we'll clear that 3 so that this 2 will shoot him, and then next time it'll, if we can fill it up. Feel like that's pretty good. That way he is going to get a +1, but hopefully he won't put a 3 there. We don't want him to have a 4. So let's see what happens. Assassin. Well, there you go. Dadgummit. And that's on a 2. All right. We get rid of a battle. He won't have time to turn. So I could kill this, and the money, by the way. And then when the 2 comes, he will poison his HQ. He'll end up dying because he'll get hit by this guy. But I think we're going in the right direction. He's going to get 1 damage on us as well. But I think this will work out. So that goes away. Gets that 3, and then we do our 3s. Which gives us back control of that. So now we're not paralyzed for the 0 round. Right? So that worked out pretty good. And now we got his HQ poisoned. He bought this fighter here. Oh, man. All right. We've got this tile thing here, which is a transposition, which is remove from the board and discard 1 of your own units, except the HQ, and place it in its space any other units from the board, except for the HQ. It can't affect units that are netted or taken over. Okay. So I don't think I can use it for this guy. And I don't... Well, I mean, I could put it here, right? So I have movement. I don't think I'm doing transposition. So I think I'll get rid... Well, I tell you, well, let's try something real quick, because we can always go back. So let's say we get rid of this and we put transposition out, and we do that. Can we select? See, we can't. Yeah, we can't. No, it won't work. So this guy's taken over and we can't do an HQ. So that doesn't work at all. So yeah, We're not doing transposition. I was correct. If you're taken over or netted, you can't do transposition with them. If I didn't do move, then maybe I could swap some stuff, but I mean, it really, I could paralyze this guy. Because I could put the poison here, and then I could move the paralyze here, and it would paralyze anybody in these two spots rather than use poison. Which isn't a bad deal. It's interesting. It's interesting enough to do it. It also gives you guys some ideas. Yeah, if I could poison the head. Well, see, this doesn't... The poison there gives my guys the ability to poison. So I'd have to have a ranged weapon to get that done. So what I'm thinking about is doing this. I take this and put it here. Doesn't matter the position. And then I play transposition on here. And then discard that tile. Then rotate this around. Whoops. Like this. So that anybody he puts in these two spaces will be paralyzed. And remember, I've got push. So if he puts somebody here, I can push them. Or if somebody here, I can push them. So I have room to push right now. Make sense? I don't know. I mean, I love poisoning. That's my favorite. But, oh, he got rid of 2 battles, and he's got a turn. All right. I am going to shoot him. I'm going to put this here. Oopsie. Put this here. And put this. Probably like that, in case I can put a guy in there and hit battle like I did the last time. Oh, he's blocking. I can put another ranged here. I don't have to worry about damage. If I put one ranged here, I'll do some more damage to him. If I put it there, it'll go off on a 1. But it's not facing any place better, really. It would hit this module. So I really want to get more damage on him before he does anything to me. So let's do that. All right. There we go. Got the poison on him. Shooting that guy. Oh, because he defended. That's interesting as well. Something I didn't think about. So I was shooting with poison, and he's got a armor. So that blocks that one shot, and because he blocked it, he will not get poisoned. So, dadgummit. Okay, sharpshooter. Awesome. Put the sharpshooter up there. For sure. This thing. Dadgummit. Got another one of those. Right. Don't need the armor. So, put this guy up here. And then he can choose who to kill. I got this guy. I could aim him at him, so on a 1, he'll eventually kill that, which is probably better than nothing. Or actually, he does 1 damage. He does 1 melee attack to anyone on a 1. That's how that works. So I think this will work out. He did movement. Big gummit. Right. Can do 1 damage. So if I put this guy down, I could do 2 damage to him, 3 damage to him. I'm worried about. Currently he's paralyzed, but he's got this guy on a 2. He's going to shoot that, and then on a 1, he's going to shoot twice, and he's got paralysis. So I could use one of these guys to knock out the paralysis. All right, I'll get rid of the medic. And then I think I'm just going to put this guy down. Here we go. Battle. So you got some more poison damage. Shoot that guy. Doesn't do any good. It unparalyzes these guys. Select sharpshooter. So we'll take this guy. And then shadows target. So the problem is that this is happening on 1, and this guy's going to go off on a 1. So I will hit him with this guy here. So I'm going to get poison and 2 damage. So I feel like this shadow could take out that guy. Or I could just take more of him. I'm going to take more of him. Don't know. And then I got another shadow target. And again, I could take out one of these. I think I'm just going to take him out again. I think I can survive this. Right? And then 1 shadows target. Of course, I'm going to attack him. Why wouldn't I? Boom. There you go. It's always better to do more damage to him, right? Always better. Whew. Well, that was harder than I thought it would be. Awesome. Man, crazy. All right. Good enough. I think that is that. All right. Well, I got a couple of games I want to tell y'all about, and we'll go from there. just getting that one poison in early. That was 3 damage. Just getting that one poison, right? So as long as you get more in there than he does, right? You're gonna do a good job. So the first thing I want to tell you about is I got to do some of the unmatched. Well, people who like Neuroshima and stuff like that, I think this is a unique system of fighting, and has a lot of the same feel and stuff like that, just different mechanisms because you're using the cards. So it's kind of random how the cards come out and how you're going to use them. You got to kind of control your hand, because if you run out of cards, then you can't defend yourself. That kind of thing. It's very unique. What I really like about it is there's a couple of things. One is that every set comes pretty much complete. There's a few, like Bruce Lee is by himself, right? But this Cobble and Fog has got 4 characters in it. You can play a 2 to 4 player game of this. It's got a double-sided map, 4 different characters, lots of unique things that you can do with just this one, right? And then you can get something like Robin Hood and Bigfoot, or the other recent one that I got was Red Riding Hood and Beowulf. And I thought that was a weird combination. Red Riding Hood and Beowulf. What's the deal with that? But then I remember Red Riding Hood killed the wolf, or at least she got a huntsman to kill it for her. Anyway, what big teeth you have, Beowulf. Anyway, but you can get one of these, and this has got a smaller map, but it's for 2-player. And so you can play Robin Hood versus Bigfoot, and it's got a map and everything you need, 2 new characters. And then you can mix and match, and you can, play on whatever map with whatever people, and on, right? So I really like the system. I think it's cool, and I like the fact that you can start anywhere. If you want to start with Jurassic Park, start with Jurassic Park. I wasn't thrilled with the engine guys, or whatever they're called. I was like, these are going to be lame. It's just dudes with guns. But they ended up being super cool. Like, they kick butt. So, thematically, they weren't too exciting. But when you did the gameplay, they were really cool. So they did a great job. So that was the one, the new Unmatched. I got the Cobble and Fog. Got to play 3 of the 4. And really enjoyed all of them. And it just kind of, and I've got to play a Beowulf in the Red Riding Hood Beowulf one. I got to play a Beowulf, brought him over and fought with some other guys, including Bruce Lee. And we ended up having a good time with that. Played a couple of games of it and just had fun. It was a good time for everybody, right? So that was cool. The other thing is I ended up, oh my goodness, this is a big box, getting a Nouvelle France. Hey, Rebecca. I start at 1:30 every week. 1:30. 1:30 was that Central Time. 1:30 Nashville time, right? That'd be 12:30 your time. I think you're in Florida. That's Eastern. So, yeah. Anyway, Nouvelle France. That's New France. What they're talking about, New France, is their colony over here in America. And trying to survive a winter in their colony. And you've got these really unique... This box is huge. I think the reason the box is huge is because it's got special pieces in it and things like that. I don't know how big the normal one is, but you end up with these boxes. You get 2 of them, and it's got, like a little magnet deal. And you have these blocks that are various shapes. Let's see. and get something interesting like this. And they got different colors on it, and you're one of the colors. And you score points based on this, right? So now, if I were to sit this down on when you're building in this area, there's 3 different areas. You're building in this area. If, let's say, you are blue and you build it this way, when we score the 3rd level, the highest level, you will get 2 points per block that's there. Okay? And that's how it works. So then, if you were white and I built here and I'm blue, I would get 4 points for that, and you would get -1 because you're at the minus, right? So it's very interesting, kind of simple, but I'm telling you, I'm not big into, I don't know, block building games, but this was a good block builder. I think this is the best block building game I've ever played. It's pretty cool. You put these spaces down. I don't know where they are. They're probably underneath everything. Let's see. Yeah, of course. That makes it easy. So you have these spaces, and you can see like the outside are a bunch of squares. So you just build around the outside. So you're building sort of like the foundation of the mill, right? So it can be 3 levels high, and that's it. And it's basically you're just building the walls, right? So it's down there, and then you've got one of the 3 scoring things. So one of them, the 2's at the top, the other one, 2's in the middle, and the 3rd one, the 2 is at the bottom, right? So there's 3 different ones, 3 different shapes that you're going to score, and so you choose where you're going to put the block, and the blocks are done in sort of a drafting manner. You draw cards, and there's always 3 cards out there, so there's 3 choices basically that you can choose from, 3 different block shapes, and you kind of look at them and figure out where to go. And then they have this, and I think these wood ones, these thick wood ones, are basically in the, I don't know, deluxe game, which is the big box. And basically what happens is you play for a particular amount of time, and then that round or season ends or whatever, and you get the first snowfall. That first snowfall covers up the first level. So that's when you'll score the first level, then the snowfall comes, and then from then on, if you ever place on the first level, you don't get any points. You don't get any negative either, but you don't get any points. So that's sort of how that works. That's interesting. It's interesting. It ends up being a really good block game. If somebody wanted to play with blocks and, play a game with blocks, and I've played quite a few, I think this New France is a great game. So I don't know what it looks like in the non-Kickstarter version. If it doesn't have the wood, if it's just cardboard or something, like maybe it's a normal box size. I don't know. So there's that. Those are the 2 new ones. And then, now me and my wife have played not a million, but we've played almost all of the Kiesling-Kramer games. Kiesling and Kramer get together, they make a game. It's going to be a game that me and Lisa like. That's just it. Some are better than others. And there's this you give them bricks. So one of the things that we found is this is Mexico. And there's Cusco was before this, and then something else was before that. Hey, Dutch. Good to see you, brother. Anyway, they had a whole series, and if you played the series, you would kind of see how they got from one to the next to the next. And I feel like now that I've played Mexico, I can the other ones have neat ideas behind them, but I feel like this one's more streamlined. It's easier for me to teach to people, easier to get to the table and to remember the rules. and all that stuff. Like Cusco is very cool, but remembering exactly how the stacking rules go and when you can build and when you can't build is pretty rough. In this one, you basically use rivers that are sort of like roads, because you can use boats, but you use rivers. They're sort of like roads and they're sort of like fences to build areas. So if I encircle an area, there's so many squares inside that area, and you try to get the right number of squares. So the king or whoever has said these are the squares, the number of squares that they want in an area. You build that, you get the bonus for that, you get points for that, and then you score things at the end because you can build temples. And then if you have temples in that area and you've got more temples than the other person, then you get special bonuses for that. Mexica is a good game. Maybe, I'd say it's in the 7. It could be 7.5, but I haven't played it enough. I think it's a 7 for sure. And then, and this is all this week, by the way. I played a lot of games. A Feast for Odin. Now, I've played A Feast for Odin before. My first play of it, and I think anybody who's played it would say this, your first play of it isn't worth a darn. You don't know what you're doing, how to land the plane, if you're flying a plane, what's going on. You're just doing what you can. And then you kind of figure it out. So this was my second official play of it. And it was me and Lisa. I taught it to her. And I tried to give her as much of that background information and help her along so that she didn't feel too lost. Because I want her to enjoy it. I want to be able to play this more than once, right? So, and we both really enjoyed it. It was a good game. It's worker placement, all that kind of stuff. I think with the worker placement that, there's like 60 spaces or something that you can go to. The choices are huge. They're vast. But trying to figure out the different paths there and how one thing might affect or lead to another is something that you have to kind of figure out over time. There's no way, like I have some ideas of some paths that I want to take next time. Lisa went on this thing called Emigration, which basically she converted ships to spaces that took up where she would feed people so she didn't have to feed as many people. And that got her points, a lot of points. She did really well. The one thing that both of us were bummed about, we didn't really care too much about the dice roll, although she was a little ticked that I got so lucky. I did get lucky with some of my rolls. But even if I failed, I would have got resources, and I kind of had that calculated, so that was okay with me. I didn't mind that luck. But when you draw occupation cards, there's like a bunch of occupation cards. And you draw them, and there's so many of them that just do not matter. Like, you don't, why is this? I don't want this, right? And then I found out in the expansion that you can sell them. So instead of playing them, which is something that you can do, you could just get rid of them in the expansion. And when you get rid of them, the first one you get rid of is worth 6. The next one's worth 4. I think like maybe 2 or 3 of them are worth 4, and then the rest are worth 2. So you get 2 victory points. These are all victory points. So, okay, I'm not going to play this card, but it does give me some victory points. So you can grab some victory points for having taken the play action. So I think that might be something. I just rig up a victory point marker and just use that. I don't think I'm going to get the expansion, though. I don't know that it's necessary. But I like the idea of the one thing that both me and Lisa felt were like those cards were just not killer. They're like, most of them weren't worth a darn, right? And you'd have to get lucky to find ones that are really going to do you any good. So you would think you played A Feast for Odin. That must have been, that's a heavy killer game. That must have been really rough. And surely you played some light game or something, right? But nope. I took on this right here, right? Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. Man, number one, this box. The Second Dawn, this is the Kickstarter box, and it comes with these the game trays. Oh my goodness. And I had a mat for it and everything, but these game trays, man, game trays help bring it to the table. It's just so awesome. And they have these are the player boards for it. So each player's got their own little helper thing. And this is nice, thick. It's not paper. It's good, thick, kind of card stock kind of thing. It's really nice. Gives you lots of information to help you out. And this right here, it's recessed, so you put your cubes in there. It's a neat mechanism. So if you find a planet that gives you mineral resources, you take one of these cubes off and you put it on there to mark that you have a population on that mineral planet, and that increases your income on the mineral thing, as well as the science and the gold. So it's a really neat mechanism how that works. It also has these things on the side that actually keep track of all three of those, pointing little arrows that point to that, and it works fantastic. So this is fantastic. And each of the factions have all their stuff in there, and all the ships, like this is the plant people, whatever they're called, and each of the ships have different shapes. So so this is what the plant people look like, and you can pull the one of the others. I don't know which one. Here, I'll pull this blue one out. We'll take a look at the blue one, and just so you get an idea. So these are the ships for the blue ones, huh? And the bases, right? So the bases look like this. So they're all unique models. All the ships are unique models. They even have little plastic stands, right? Little clear stands that you can put those on. Holy cow. It's fantastic. So I did play this once for 2 players. That was the first time I ever played it. When I first got this, I didn't feel like I got a good playthrough, but it was doable. I think it's much better with more people. It is a longer game. You'll have downtime and all that kind of stuff. I would definitely want to play it with 2 people. I just want to play it, tell you the truth. This is a game that it feels like a streamlined TI. Like, I played this, I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know, why do I want to play TI? It's like, well, it's kind of epic, and there's like all that stuff about the intrigue, where we negotiate and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I could play a negotiation game during the breaks of this game to give me that feel. I mean, like, I don't know. Play Good Critters and Eclipse at the same time, and you'd have TI4. So this is just really streamlined. I love the rule set. I love how the technology tree thing works. You draft the technologies essentially, and they come out randomly, and you try to get enough resources to get that thing. Instead of this thing leads to that thing, it's more like you can have any of these. But when you buy it, if you buy it early, it costs more resources. If you buy it later, you get a higher discount. So big, awesome technologies might cost 17 science. And if you buy that right away, you might only get a 2 discount. But if you buy it at the end, like, you know, the 10th science thing that you buy, you'd end up with like I think it was like a -8 discount. So then suddenly you're paying, you know, whatever, 9 for it instead of 15, right? So neat how that works. Mechanics, everything about it works really well. I managed to do better than I thought I would. Your population gets on the planet, and I can protect them a number of ways. I don't just have to have spaceships there. It's not like he moves spaceships in and suddenly your population goes away, unless you're plant people, because plants don't fight back. I don't know. Yeah, so I got the Infinity box for Anachrony too, and the box, the way, because those big games are so hard to bring to the table, right? You're like, oh man, we got to get all this stuff out, and it's like having these trays. Just it makes it a snap, and putting it back away, everything has a place and it's easy. We all just chipped in and put everything where it needed to go. It was great. Can't say enough about Eclipse. I tell you right now, if you push me on this, I think this is an 8.5, if not a 9, on my scale. This is Eclipse is, it could be higher. I just need to play it more. And now I really want to play it, which led me to some other ideas. There is a thing that just came out. What's it called? It's I saw it high something. What is it called? It's something high frontier for all. So High Frontier for All is this crazy thematic game. I think it's the most, like, as far as heavy goes, I don't know if there's a heavier game. It looks extremely heavy, but like that heaviness is all in this geekness, which is thematic, and totally you're trying to figure out how much fuel it takes to burn to get to Mars, and how many burns you have to do to get there, change of direction, landing, and all that stuff. And once you get to Mars, do you have enough fuel to even take off of the planet to start heading home, right? So it's all very interesting to me, how that game works. And so I went ahead and went in on it. I think I'll have to wait till March to get one of the modules is delayed. So there's like 3 modules to it. I don't know. But I wanted to go all in on that one as well. I just looking at the map of it was amazing. But totally geek. Incredibly geeky. I can probably show you the map. High Frontier for All. And look at images. Yeah. So this will give you, I think, oops, nope. Open link. Where's open image? There we go. All right. Oh, I have to screen. So this is what it looks like. This is the sun here. And then there's like Mercury, and then there's the Venus orbit, and then there's Earth. So this is Earth, and this is the moon over here. And all these weird lines and stuff are the pathways to get to these different places. So everything's in orbit. And they've kind of calculated how, instead of, how do I say that? The number of burns to get, look at that board. Look at that, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. This is what it looks like. So, right, insane. But I totally want to tackle it. I totally want to try this. And the reason I want to tackle it, I think, is because it's so thematic. But anyway, whatever. I'm geeking out on that. I don't know anything about it yet. I will definitely tell you. It may not be until summer until I know anything, but I'm kind of excited about about giving this one a shot. I got to watch Paul Grogan and them, I think, or maybe it was just Heavy. I think it was Heavy Cardboard. I watched Heavy Cardboard do a playthrough of it, and I think it was something like 14 hours or 12 hours or something stupid like that. So are you going to get the 6th player board for this game? I have no idea what I'm doing. I got modules. So it comes, the new game comes with module 0, and then they have 1, 2, and 3. Modules 1, 2, and 3. So I'm getting all those. So whatever's in those. I didn't even research it. I'm getting all this stuff. I'm going to play this whole thing. We're going to have a big geek fest. We're going to spend all day doing it, order out pizza, all those things. Sometimes it's really good to have those kind of, like, this would be just this epic geek thing. We'll probably spend 2 hours, 3 hours trying to learn the darn thing. Who knows? I'll do as much research as I can to learn it beforehand, but anyway. So I'm excited about it. But that's me. That's what's going on in my world. So, anyway, snow has finally, hey Bob, good to see you or hear from you. The snow has recessed. Everything's clear out there. Life is good. We're doing okay here in Nashville. Tomorrow I get to have a Zoom call with one of the Predators, the hockey team, local hockey team here in Nashville, and so I'm looking forward to that. See how that goes. Yeah, it's almost spring in Poland. Well, and that's the thing. It kind of feels that way today too. I've got this jacket on, and that is it. That's all I got. I can walk outside right now. I'm a little warm right now, actually. So, yeah, man, Stronghold Undead. Oh, I can't wait to get my copy in. Darn Europeans, you're lucky. Yeah, Stronghold is so awesome. When I did some little demos of that at BGG Con, and everybody who was interested in it, I would tell them, you need to sit down in front of this. So they would look at it sitting on the table, and I'd say, sit down for a second, and I'll describe it to you. And when you sit down, it doesn't matter which side you sit on. When you sit down and you see that army spread out in front of you, and I don't know, something about it. Like if you're in the castle, you feel the army coming in, and you've got this, and you got your walls. Just the idea, all that, it really, it sucks you in immediately. Yeah, I really love the board and how that felt just looking at it, right? And it's complicated and all that stuff, but I think that they've really streamlined the rules, and I'm hoping that the rule book's looking good. I know that they have worked on it and struggled with it. So I'm thinking it's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see it. So anyway, yeah. So enjoy it, Dutch. Enjoy it. I'm a little jealous. All right, y'all. Be good, and I will talk to you very soon. I'll see you for sure next Tuesday. Rebecca, it's at 1:30. Central Time, right? Not Central Europe. Y'all be good. See you guys.